Google Translate, I can't tell you 100%, but there are several apps you can use to learn. But there is nothing like you communicating with someone.
Who
there is
understands
the fastest and the easiest. Yes, that's just the fastest and the easiest way when you see or hear people speaking the language.
Yeah,
especially if you watch the news.
You saying people should watch like movies and just watch
movies, or just anything. There are lots of videos on YouTube.
Welcome to Vows. Thanks for joining me again. If this is your first time, yes, you are in the right community. This is a community where we help and support people to identify their purpose, to find their voice, to communicate their message, to be a better version of themselves. We'll do as much as we can to support you to achieve those goals that you have set. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe. This is the time where I say it so that you do not miss our future episode. Today is going to be an interesting session. Yes, we're going to be learning hacks on how to learn a new language with social interactions. So we have somebody who is going to share her so many years of experience of learning multiple languages. Yes, I had to get her in. She speaks about 3 languages fluently, and she's going to share tips on how she's been able to learn these languages, the benefits that she has found from learning these languages. So if you think this is for you, you want to learn a new language, or you're in the process of learning a new language, or you intend to in future relocate, or you want to go on a business trip and you're thinking of ways to learn languages fast, this is for you. You want to wait to the end because Mayowa Martins Osamoje, yes, she'll be sharing her experience with us and hacks that she's found very, very useful in the past in learning so many languages such as German, Turkish, and yes, can we have Mayowa, please? Hello, Mayowa. Thanks for joining us today. We're really excited about learning a new language, and the hacks on how to learn a new language quick. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, can you just I've done a little bit of introduction about you, but can you please tell us something interesting about you?
Oh, thank you for having me on the show, Dr. Bola. I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Mayowa Martins Osamoje, married with 3 kids. I live in Germany and I love traveling. Traveling is life. I love traveling to other countries to know about their language, about their cultures, and the food, the cuisine, and all that, Like I say, traveling is part of education, you understand? And most of all, I love shopping. Shopping, shopping, shopping.
I know. I can actually tell from looking at your Instagram and your Facebook. I'm like, okay. Yeah, right. So I had a couple of people reach out to me. So shout out to those that have reached out to me in regards, and I hope you're watching this or you watch this later. Now, for example, one of them specifically is relocating to a new country where she has to learn a new language, and she wants people to share their experience of how they have been able to learn a new language fast using social interaction. And I know your experience, to the best of my knowledge, I know that you've actually lived in like 3 countries, including your home country. So yeah, can you share what were the ways in which that helped you, that facilitated you learning, especially German? When you're talking German, I'm like, oh my God, yeah. So especially when it's not a language that you grew up with, you didn't start learning German till you grew up or till you relocated with your family. So can you tell me what were the ways in which you that helped you to learn this language fast?
Yeah, honestly, German language is a very difficult language, I have to admit.
Trust me, I know, I've been there.
Yeah, you were there, you know. So it's like you really have to learn it, because one thing about here, if you want to stay in Germany, you have to learn the language. So that's why most people see Germany as a language barrier country, because nobody's going to read your letters, read your mails, or go to the offices with you without speaking German. When I came here newly, it was like I said Chinese or something. I don't understand the word, but I just had to like, no, I have to learn. If you are going to stay in this country, you have to learn. First step, never be afraid to speak out. Don't be scared of talking. Don't be scared of making false pronunciation. Don't be scared of, you know, using past tense with with present tense or something. Just talk. You speak. When you speak, people around you or the person you are talking to will correct you.
Correct you.
And that day, you've learned a word, or you've learned a sentence, or you've learned something. Next time, you will not make that mistake again.
Yeah,
Most
I think
problems people have.
yeah. I was
Most
listening
problem
to
people have
somebody
here.
say that
Yeah.
when you're trying to learn, just keep talking, and when you make mistakes, people around you will, and that's just similar to what you have said. People
Yeah,
around you will
honestly,
be willing to
yeah,
correct you.
definitely. When I came here, they had to tell me that I had to go to kindergarten to stay with the kindergarten children 1 hour a day. Because when I started schooling here, I don't understand what they are saying in the class, and the class cannot wait for me. They need to continue with the normal timetable. You understand? So I had to go to every morning. Once I get to school, I had to go to kindergarten first. You can imagine, you can see how crazy it is, but honestly, it's helped me. I will not lie. It really helped me, because the kids are not speaking English. They are all speaking German. They teach me 1, 2, 3. They teach me colors. But when they talk, I understand. I pick little things. Sure, you get. And the thing is, like I said earlier on, just because if you keep quiet, how will you learn? If you don't talk, how will you be corrected? Or if you don't make mistake, you understand? So learning a new language, relocating to another country, or let me say relocating, especially we Nigerians, when we are relocating or when we want to relocate to another non-speaking English country, we should be prepared. At first, it's really going to be very hard. But with determination, if you determine, you will learn. Second point, watch TV, watch movies in German, watch their TV station, their news, anything German. You can speak English. Let me use myself as an example. I speak English well from home, most Nigerians. I don't need to start, if I really want to learn a language, I don't need to start watching the TV in English or watching Nollywood film or something. No, I need something that has this connection with German language. I need to. And number 3, go to school, go to German class. Funny enough, 85% of jobs, they encourage you to go to school. So you cannot tell me, I don't know how to read and write, I cannot go. No, the Germans will help you from the scratch. If you don't go to school to learn how to read and write, then tell me, how do you want to learn the language? Then another point is, like, I have a friend, she was here, I think she was here a few years ago. She came around 3 or 4 years ago. At first, it was really difficult, but she came with her kids. Can you imagine? The kids started speaking German even before their mom.
Wow. Yeah, kids, they learn very fast, isn't it?
Yes, they learn very fast.
And that's the thing with watching children. You see, of course, when they were born, they don't understand our language, but they just keep observing us. And that relates to you saying that just watch the TV, listen to their audios, you know. And kids, they just look at you talk, because of course they can't talk, but they listen to whatever you are saying.
Yeah.
And by the time they start talking, they begin to have an understanding of what you have said. And I think that applies to learning a new language as well.
Yes. You know, learning new language is very interesting. Okay, like now, if I like, let me put it this way. Sometimes some of the asylum seekers here, they cannot read their letters. They cannot talk to the people in the office. They'll have to ask me, please, can you help us? Can you help us? Okay, fine, I will do that. Because that's, I do a lot of translation for most of them, you know, and I don't want to be doing that. I want to learn too. I want them to be able to stand on their feet too. And I keep encouraging them. You have to go to school. You have to learn how to do things. You don't just sit down inside and watch movie from morning till night. It's not done anywhere. Then secondly,
you have to make conscious
working
efforts.
place, it helps too. Yes, of course. You really have to push yourself, you know. You have to go out of your comfort zone. Do you get? And sometimes too, at your working place, it's really also very helpful. Because when you talk to your colleagues, when you gist with them, maybe during the break, you guys talk together, make sure they are not speaking English with you. Let them speak that language with you. If you start doing that, within every week, you will learn something new, 100%, I can assure you that. Every week you must learn it, even if it's not a word, even if it's not a sentence, but at least a word and what that word means. You understand? Because when I think a year after I came here, I went coffee drinking with some girls. They are German girls. They were talking. Dr. Bola, I have to tell you, 50% of what they said I didn't understand.
I can imagine.
Because they were talking very fast, you know. Then one of them noticed I was quiet. She was like, hello, warum redest du nicht mit uns? Like, why are you not talking to us? I told her, I said, come, I don't understand all what you guys are saying, and I cannot talk. That girl, she's a Russian girl, but her parents are Russian, but she grew up she's here in, she's born in Germany, I think, yeah. Oh, she was born in Germany. So we were talking that day. She was like, you have to speak. If you don't talk to us, we will not know how we can correct you. Since that day, I started jamming the Germans together. Present tense. I put them together. I told them, please don't laugh at me. If you laugh at me, I will stop talking. So if I make a mistake, immediately they will correct me. From there, that is where I got my self-confidence. And secondly, I used to think I don't have to be extremely perfect in German. I just have to know how to communicate in the school, at work, in a hospital, you know, just the most important thing is your means of communication.
Yeah.
I can assure you, people living in Germany, especially this newcomer, they are finding it seriously difficult. I have to tell you the truth. If you go to the doctor will tell you, I don't speak English.
Wow.
If you go to lawyer, the lawyer will tell you, you have to bring someone to be lawyers, fine. You can see, you can have like maybe 70% of lawyers that speak English, if you are lucky. But you see, the key places like all these government offices, they will tell you, sorry, if you want to stay in Germany, you have to learn the language. And I'm sure it's everywhere also, like France, like Switzerland, you know. So you have to learn. I can remember when I was in Cyprus, when I was schooling in Cyprus, they speak Turkish Cyprus and Greek Cypriot. I stayed in a Turkish part. Sometimes if we wait, that place is even, I don't know how to say it. They don't even want to hear English. They don't even know, they're not even interested. Like Germans, they are still interested in learning English. Most of them learned English in school. But Cyprus, zero.
Wow.
If you tell them English, they'll say, no English, no English. So what do you have to do? You have to learn the language.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
so
when we were growing up, I realized that because of course we have different tribes in Nigeria that have different language. I realized that a lot of people, maybe the Igbos, they tend to learn more of Yoruba, and that's quick with using jokes and maybe not abusive words, and you know, so maybe you using those jokes, you know, and to learn. What do you think about that? Trying to use those common things that people would say, like, I am going to the shop, I want to sleep, you know, those sort of things. Yeah.
Honestly, if you want to learn a new language, you learn the bad words first. Not you learn, you hear the bad word first. Let me put it that way. It's not as if you intend to learn the bad ones, but the bad ones are the ones that won't pick very fast. You understand? And there is also this thing they used to call Strasse Deutsch in Germany. That's street German, like street language, like broken English. You understand? You see, using all those jokes, it helps, you understand, in one way, and it doesn't help in another way, because one, you cannot learn a language with bad words. Where do you want to use the bad words? In the office, in the hospital, where? You can only use it between yourself, or maybe, your friends or something. Like the Turkish people. You see, the Turkish, the Albania, the Russians, and Italians. These four countries that are staying in Germany, all their kids speak their language.
Wow.
And they speak German too. The parents might not be perfect in German, but their kids are very good in German. And still, they speak their native language.
Wow.
But one thing about we Africans, we don't care. So I can tell you today that some Nigerians, their kids cannot even speak English.
Because they grew up in Germany, isn't it?
You understand? And all the things are advantages for the kids. If they get to school, and maybe they get to primary 3 or primary 4, and they're speaking English at home already, when they get to school, they'll actually be one of the best students in English in their class. And English is very important here in Germany too. So using jokes to learn language, it's helpful, but it has its own disadvantage, because you will not learn the original German. You will not learn the real words that you need for the society. Using joke to learn German, these are language you can speak, maybe in the social gathering with friends or something. Yes. But when it comes to official settings, my dear, it doesn't help.
Yes.
And here you have.
Can you share some of the benefits? What are some of the benefits that, basically, based on your experience of having to understand multiple language, have there been any time where you feel learning how to speak German, or maybe a bit of Cyprus, has actually come through for you?
Yeah, you see, in Cyprus, I didn't stay long. I stayed in Cyprus for like a year or something, but I was able to pick some words. I was able to express myself in the store. At least, like, if I'm going out, if I want to take a bus, if I want to buy things, you understand. But in Germany, you have to learn that language. And one thing I noticed about German language is it really affected or affects my English. I have to be honest. My English is not as perfect and fluent like it used to be.
Yeah, because you speak a lot of German, isn't it?
You understand? So sometimes I make mistake in English. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just say? But I'm like, well, it's not my father's language. You understand? So you see, language, the benefits of language are more, especially in the society. For example, now, if I come to your country now, maybe I'm in UK, I want to work. Maybe I might be lucky, I will see if a company that will say, oh, we need someone with multiple language.
Yeah.
And within Europe, Germany is among
yes, we have that.
The most important, languages, you understand? So for example, now, is added advantage for me if I'm looking for a job.
Yes, absolutely.
They will be like, oh, thank God, she can reply to our German mails. She can answer our German customers. Yeah. You understand? And likewise in the tourism sector, yeah, it's very, very important. If I go to Italy today and get a job in the tourist department, my German speaking language and English speaking language is of added advantage for me. Yeah. You understand? So it's always like that. I will give you some examples. My uncle, there was one time he called me that some of my friends want to get something in Germany. The company wrote them mail. They don't understand. Can you help us, please? I was feeling like, yes, I'm a superstar. I was like, "Uncle, you have to pay me. Oh, it's 50 euro per hour." They're like, You understand? I was able to read the mail for them. I was able to answer the company. Then I had to call the company to negotiate with them and tell them what they want and all that.
Yeah.
You see, those are parts of the advantages of having learning new language.
Languages, yeah.
Actually, I can speak a little bit of Turkish. I speak German. I speak English.
I
You
know you
understand?
were always going to Turkey, and that's in regards to shopping. For those that like shopping, you know. So when you started going shopping, or the times where you've gone shopping, you know, how did you start speaking, or how did you start learning? Did you use like apps, or you spoke to people? Because I think somebody was sharing her story, and she said she wanted to go to a new country, and what she did was she just went on social media and Instagram and started adding people in that country, you know. She started adding them, and then she started saying, "Hello, I am coming to your country." She used translator. So she chatted like 2 different people. So when this one replies and says, "Hello, oh, I'm fine, and how are you doing too?" She takes that person's reply and give it to the other person, you know?
Wow, that's a smart way of learning.
Yeah, 2 different people were having sort of conversation, and you know, and that actually helped her to pick 1 or 2 things, you know, because she enjoyed it. So what am I trying to say? When you are enjoying it, she sort of used, and it wasn't just 2. I think she opened multiple pages, you know, and then she started. It was hard work, but while trying to copy and paste and transfer this, you know, she started picking it, and she was enjoying what she was doing. So
yes, most definitely.
Yeah, when you were going shopping, what was your own way of wanting of what ways did you use to learn Turkish?
You know, like I said earlier, I stayed in Cyprus, the Turkish part, for like a year.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm going to the store, I'll be like, "Oh God, what will I tell these people that don't understand English?" But when I get there, I will just pick something. I'll raise it up. It's very funny. I'll raise it up, then I'll do like this. You know, like how much? They'll take paper.
You started learning sign language as well, in addition to learning.
I started with sign language, you understand? At the end, so later, the guy, the storekeeper, there's this particular store beside, not far from where I was staying. So the guy would be like, cash para, okay. When I heard cash para, I was like, you know, before you know it, I understood, okay, how much? Before you know it, next door, I will still repeat myself. So the reply that person is giving me, you understand? It's really crazy. It's hard because
the thing that was funny was when you do like this.
Yes, so I'll raise the thing up in the store and I'll ask the person how much. They will understand. They'll tell me the price. Then I started learning the 1, 2, 3, like 200 lira, 100 lira. You know, I started learning that. You understand? So before you know it, when I go to shop, the first word I learned, to be honest with you, in Turkish is cash para. That's how much. You understand? Then before you know it,
because that's actually the goal of wanting to go to Turkey, isn't it? To shop and all that. Aside the times where you lived in Cyprus, you know.
Yeah, when I lived in Cyprus, I go to Turkey frequently because they have beautiful things in Turkey.
Yeah.
If you really want to go shopping for good materials, shoes, you should go to Turkey, go to Istanbul. It's so nice there. And their things are quite affordable. And ever since I started staying in Germany, I've been to Turkey like 2 or 3 times. You understand? But another country that I would really love to visit is China. China and Japan. So
have you started learning how to speak Chinese then?
Well, I normally I use Google this thing, but it's giving me something else I don't understand. Maybe I don't know how to pronounce it. You understand? So I'm really trying. Actually, if not for coronavirus, I should be in China in December as planned. You understand? I really just want to go. I really want to explore.
Yeah.
But now it's not possible. Maybe I don't even think I'll go to China in the next 15 years because of this COVID-19.
Because of COVID-19, yeah. We don't know what the world holds, isn't it? So
yeah, that's just the truth, you know. Then the second language.
Yeah, for those that don't intend to stay in those countries, or they don't intend to relocate with their family or stay for a long time. So what ways would you suggest is the best way? I know somebody, a couple of days, somebody sent me, one of my aunties, she was saying to me, when I posted this, you know, when I posted the, I think it was yesterday actually, when I posted the advert for this show, she was really excited. A couple of people were really excited, and I'm sure that they are watching this now, you know. She said to me that, oh, I'm really excited. I started learning how to speak French and Spanish, you know. And then she sent me this app that she's been using, this app, and she sent the link to me. So what's your perception on using apps to learn?
You know, the app is very good, but Google Translate is not so accurate. I have to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yes, because if you, like, there's this one they're using, this app they're using, you scan the letter and it will translate to you in English, but it's not 100% accurate.
Wow.
You understand? So we have thousands of apps on Google Play Store or iPhone or stuff, you know, or where you can download and use that to learn. You understand? Even my kids, there's a particular app on their phone and their tablet where they learn grammatic in German.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because German, it's I don't know. Let me put it this way: the language is a little bit intense, as in.
Yeah, but they grew up in Germany. They were born in Germany, so
even the German kids that are born here from father German, mother German, grandfather, grandmother German generation, they fail German in school.
Wow.
They still fail German in school.
Well, I think
because the language is so
same thing with Nigerian tribal language.
Yeah, you understand. That's just it. You have to learn. It's really helpful. You understand. But the only one that I don't really encourage is this Google Translate, because it's not always accurate. Most of these people I assist in translating their letters or things, they will use Google translator. At the end, they'll still call me that what Google is translating is not so right. We don't understand what the letter is saying, you know. It's not right. So but if you use, there are some app, and even the app, Google Translate, I can't tell you 100%, but there are several apps you can use to learn. But there is nothing like you communicating with someone.
Who
there is the fastest and the easiest. Yes, that's just the fastest and the easiest way when you see or hear people speaking the language. Yeah, especially if you watch the news.
You saying people should watch like movies and just watch
movies, or just anything. There are lots of videos on YouTube. You understand? There are lots and lots of, but people will say, I don't understand what they are saying. Sit down there. By the time you sit down there every day, 1 week, you will definitely understand one or two things.
Yeah.
Nobody is born with any language. We all grew up
to learn them.
To learn, languages. Now I want to learn French. But do you realize the French I learned in Starlight Nursery and Primary School is what I'm using today?
I know, the ones
you understand?
Oh God, we're actually very good. We sang in French. We did lots of things in French, isn't it?
Yeah, you understand that right now. We were actually very, very brilliant in French. You know, the one we learned in school, in primary school, that's actually the one I'm using now.
Wow.
And I also have a very good friend in France. Sometimes we talk, we laugh together. She will say ça va, I'll say ça va bien. You understand? Before you know it, one or two.
You know, I'll tell you.
Many language.
I met somebody from that actually came from France. I think when I was still working as a receptionist in the casino at the time. And then, you know, one of those songs that they taught us in primary school. And I said, oh, I can sing so many songs.
Don't tell me that.
French. And then I started singing. And he said, all I said was rubbish.
I can understand. Because
You know,
the pronunciation is total different. You understand?
you know, I was singing it confidently, like, yes, you know, we actually sang so many songs in French.
Yes,
I sang the first one, I sang the second one, and, you know, he's a very good listener. You know, he listened to me and made me fool myself.
He made you so comfortable.
And then he said, well, I picked one or two things which you possibly have pronounced strongly, but there's a bit of melody in the song, but it doesn't
It doesn't mean anything.
mean anything.
Oh God.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is somebody was sharing that she likes Harry Potter books and she's read Harry Potter. So what she did, she wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. So she bought the Spanish version of Harry Potter. Some of the books she had read in English, in the English version, she started reading them in the Spanish version, and that helped her. Do you think at some point reading books helped you as well?
Yeah, it actually helped me so well. I have to be honest with you. It helps because, and this German language is a little bit, you know, like English. Most of the words in German, they are almost similar to English. So reading the book helps me because once I read, like, let me say, let me put it this way. Like there's one particular book I read in German. I don't know, I've forgotten the name of this book. But this book, I was able to understand 2 or 3 pages. Wow. Using my English, you know, using my English understanding. Exactly. You understand? Because most of the words, they are almost similar. English, water, in German, Wasser. English, come, in German, come. You understand? It's so similar. So when I'm reading, I'll know, okay, this is what this thing means in English because it's similar to the English word. Yeah. So reading German book, it's really helpful. But the thing is, we have to look at those that don't even know how to read and write. Wow. There are some people that don't even know how to read and write. Yeah. We are opportune to go to school. You understand? But there are some people that are not even opportune to go more than maybe GSS1 or primary 1 or I don't know. You understand? So those people, and to be honest with you, these are the people that are mainly in Europe now. And that is why they are having difficulties with language. Because they don't even have the foundation. They don't have the foundation. So if they don't have the foundation, they should start from somewhere. There's a lady that called me a few weeks last month. She was like, they brought letter for me, for my son in the school. I was like, okay, are you able to read it? She said, yeah, she was able to, but she doesn't understand. I said, give the letter back to your son. Let your son read it and explain to you. Can you imagine? The son was able to read that letter and explain to mama. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I told her.
Sometimes kids, even with English, you have had a couple of friends say, look, imagine my daughter is correcting me and said, oh, mommy, that's not how it's pronounced, you know. So yeah, having kids that actually speak language it's helpful.
Even me, my daughter, she's 8 years old. She's in primary 3.
Wow, sometimes she's 8 already. Wow.
Yes, 8 already. Wow. When I speak German, sometimes she's like, Mama. I was like, what? She said 9. It's not like that. I said, look at you. I came to this country before you. I've been speaking German before you were born. But she was like, yeah, Mama, I know, but it's wrong. I was like, okay, correct me. She will correct me. Yeah. You know, it's just like that. It's just like my husband is very good with grammatic in German. He doesn't speak German every time. But honestly, he's far, far better than me in grammatic aspects. You get? So this German of the languages, the most important thing is just know the basic ones that can help you in the city, in the society, in surroundings, with neighbors and all that. Let me give you an example. I can tell you there are some women here. they have been in this country for 15 to 20 years. They don't even know a word in German.
Wow.
Because they don't go out, they don't interact, they stick to their culture, stick to their language, stick to their circle. And now, before you can get a German passport, there's a particular exam you have to do. Now they go to school. When they go to school, they spend maybe 4 hours in school. When they get back home, they start with their language. They start watching their language on TV. So tell me, how do you want to learn? How do you want to pass?
Yeah, and I think
so
that
if you even
applies to England as well. If you're not from an English-speaking country and you need to come to England, even to study, and you need to pass the English language test as well. So then it needs to, for you to be able to learn just based on what you have been saying, it needs to be part of your everyday life. But I think also it comes with interest as well. You need to be interested.
That's the point. That's the point I really want to go into. Because most people are not even interested. They'll be like, it's too hard, I beg. I cannot do this. It's too this. I will just look at them and shake my head that you cannot continue to stay in Germany without the language. You will be frustrated.
Yeah.
It will get to a time I might not be there for you anymore. For the fact that I'm able to translate for you today does not mean I will help you tomorrow. You understand? But they feel like, no, I cannot speak. The common one, most of them know how to speak is 9. 9. I say, why is it that all of you,
Guten Morgen,
9, you know how to speak? Speak, talk. You say, we didn't go to school now. It's not easy. I said, that is not an excuse. You don't use that as an excuse. Okay, there is a friend of my husband, he's from Gambia. He spoke with my husband a few years ago that he really wants to learn, but he didn't go to school in Gambia. He cannot even read and write. My husband had to advise him. These people will help you. That is one thing about Germany. I respect them for that. They will help. Even if you want to go to the level of university, they will send you free of charge.
So they will help you to learn the language.
To learn, you understand? This guy going to the government office told them, I want to learn, but I don't even know how to read and write. Wow. They started with this boy like a kindergarten child. They started with him with ABC in German. They started with him with colors, with this. Now, this boy is learning work. They call it Ausbildung. He's doing Ausbildung now in Germany.
Wow. So he started from the basics.
From the basic. You understand? Because if you sit down now, today you watch Nollywood, tomorrow you watch Africa Wood, tomorrow you do this. So there is no way you will get connected with the language.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people should not watch Nollywood or should not see movies or something. Yeah, but
if
make
you
sure
have an intention of what you need to do. You need to walk in that direction and walk in that
direction. And you have to split your time 50% on maybe you watch movies or you see movies for like maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. Probably you have to share it. 2 hours for German movies and 2 hours for your other movies. Even if you don't
listen at least once a day and learn something new once a day or something.
I love to watch Indian movies so much. But I cannot speak in English or what will English, you see? English is German language. Instead of me using English word. You see what I said with this German and English, you know?
Yeah, I know.
If I'm seeing Indian movie, I understand them perfectly, even without translating.
Because you consistently watch them and use the captions for a long time.
You understand? So I understand them very well. You get me? It's just like there's something inside you that will connect you to that language one way or the other. If you are interested.
Yeah.
But if you're not interested, there's no how you will learn it. Language. I find it interesting. Focus your mind on it. give your time. You have to sacrifice some things to learn that language. And once you are able to learn that language, finito.
Wow. Wow.
You understand?
So
Me,
much.
sometimes when well, when I sit with some German people, sometimes I will not be able to talk, sir, because their language, when they speak this deep German, I'll be like, want to today. You understand?
Too comprehensive for you.
You get, but one way or the other, I'll be able to blend. My key point is the most important thing: be able to express yourself. Be able to know how to say, my name is, I'm from so place. I want to buy this. How much is this? Can I eat this? What is this? You understand? The basic one. Then from the basic one,
you graduate. Because when you're actually replying, when you're talking using those basic ones, those people will reply you. And when one or two people use the same sort of reply, you get to understand that when I use this word, this is the sort of reply I get.
Okay. Then in that way, you have learned something.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot keep moods, and think without you talking, you believe, even if you are using app, but you still have to communicate.
Yeah.
So those are my major points for learning new language. Please, people should try to speak out, speak up, talk. Even if it's wrong, they will correct you. If they laugh you the first time, second time, the third time, they will not laugh you because you won't make that mistake again.
Wow, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing all those tips with us and sharing your experience. Right, for those that intend to learn new languages, so the best way to learn fast is to communicate with people that speak those languages fluently. You also need to watch like audios and TV shows or videos of where they communicate in that language. Those are the fastest way, based on Mayowa's experience, to learn whichever new language. This also includes sign language as well. So, you watch shows where they use sign languages and all that. And hopefully, yes, you'll be able to learn that language of your choice that interests you and very quick. Thank you, Mayowa. Thanks for making time to join us to share your experience. I hope those that send those questions to me, I hope you've been able to pick one or two things that you would find very useful. Thank you for joining us, Mayowa. I'll let you go now. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you, Dr. Bola.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day.
And you too. Bye. Wow, that was an interesting session. Now, if you have learned a new language and you want to share with us in the comment section, please leave how you have learned a new language and ways in which you have learned it very quick, or you've been able to pick up the words quickly, so that those that have asked those questions can pick them up and learn from you. Share your experience with us, share your knowledge with us, so that, because this is a community where we want to help each other, and you are part of this community because you're watching this. So share your own thoughts with us in the comment section. And if you have found this very useful, please share this with your friends. Give it a thumbs up. Yes, give it a thumbs up. The thumbs up encourages us to do more. So give it a like, the love, give it a love, and yes, thanks for making time to be here today. I would see you in the next episode. And if you have any question that you want me to get experts to answer, you want people to share their experience, the email is on the screen as usual. Keep those questions coming. And for those that have not been able to get experts to answer your question, they are in line. I'm in the process of doing that. I would get your questions. I'll get people to answer your question as soon as possible. So thank you for joining me today. Thanks for making time to join me. And this is Dr. Bola Adeyeye Omishade, and I'll see you next week.